I guess I'm live streaming now, and I'm live streaming to bring you an update video on my guitar StewMac guitar fetish build, and let's hear it because it's been my go-to guitar since I built it. I'm 100% satisfied with the guitar I built. I love this Strat. I wanted a Strat. I needed Strat sound, and I got what I believe is Strat sound. So let me go grab it here. Would have been nice if I grabbed it before I started live streaming, right? Oh, sorry about the light in your eyes. Much better. Get a better view here. Let me get some monitors in my ears so I can hear what's really going on. All right. Yeah, man. Real happy. Real happy. I mean, hear, a really nice linear sound to all the frets. I've never really had a guitar with that much usable sound way up there on the, that usually sounds really awkward. This guitar maintains some personality all the way up there, and I think that's really cool. And then we have earbuds that are a pain in the neck. Come on. All right. Now there's more. I set this tremolo here to float. And, with floating it, I was a little worried, it wasn't the Eric Johnson method where it's hugging the fretboard that I set up my copycat Fame guitar Strat. And I liked the way that was sounding, and I liked the way it's set up. But this one I thought, well, I'd like to use the whammy bar. And there was at that time I was watching the Carl Verheyen method that I think I posted a video out about. And I was intrigued by the ability to bend a chord up a few steps, more intervals on the third string than the one string. You can look at that method to hear about all that, but in a nutshell, it's like a D. A real cool chord bend comes out if you So, not only does that have a great, cool bending action, which is set up in the angle here. The intonation set up great, and it returns to tune all the time. Now, I'm not pulling off any kind of massive whammy bar stuff either, but that's not really what I do on this guitar, and I have other guitars all Floyd Rosed out for that. So it's awesome for what I do, and I can't believe how great of a guitar it is for the money I paid, which, total it all up. Let's be honest here. We're not saving a whole ton of money, and I think, of course the manufacturers, need to get paid, and they know what you can afford and what you'll probably pay and what the market is demanding. And, but you got they know that the end consumers got the advantage of building it themselves, and some people love that quality of getting something, where everything was tightened down by them and set up by them, and it really becomes an extension of themselves when you have made something like this. Even though this was mostly assembled, I didn't finish. I've built some guitars where I did all the finishing and everything, and that's a fun process, but really drags out the assembly. This was pretty nice that you get this body all set up, and I had to trust that they'd send me something quality that resembled a halter, right, that they promised. And man, whew, beautiful piece of wood, really crisp, clean routing, excellent shine, shiniest guitar I got. So of course, maybe that jades my perception, because don't even have a nice shiny guitar like this. But some are nice, but and I honestly, had never really liked the Burst, but since 8 million great guitarists play a Burst Strat, I thought, why the hell not be the next guy with a same old guitar. But it helps give it that look, like maybe, with the sound, it is some kind of old vintage guitar, but it's got an excellent headstock here, thanks to StewMac. Cut's really nice, smaller. I think the camera warps the neck here. I'll try to get it over here. Doesn't have that. I'm not fond of the giant headstock there. That's got its own. If I was, in more of a flash kind of, I needed more flash, and I might want that giant headstock, but they're not giant, but there's a larger one, and there's a little bit more of a tamed one like this one, and that's what this neck had, and I like that. And I'll tell you what, final thing, the neck finish on this StewMac guitar, one small thing and a couple other things. First of all, the frets, when I got it, felt a little bit like, ooh, could use a little bit of edge work there, and of course I could have. After I knocked it down with the file just lightly, and then been playing it with my hands, perfect. There's no problem. They're great. Nothing's cutting my finger or nothing. And the finish, I was worried that I might not care for the finish. It's really light, and it's very close to almost feeling like wood, but it's just smooth enough to not, to have some kind of coating on it. It's not the big, thick, gooey-looking coating that I have on my Hondo guitar, which has its own way of sliding. That's kind of nice. This is its own animal, and I still like it. I'm not changing it. I bought some tongue oil to put on it. I was never able to put it on. No, what did I get? The True Oil, but I never put any True Oil on it. I just left it as it is, and it's been great. However, the one final thing I'll say, and you can't even see it on this video, so maybe no one will notice, but I am getting some wear down on the lower frets here, and I guess in the end, if you have a worn-out fret-looking guitar, it kind of looks like you play it, and it looks kind of cool as it wears in, so, but it's definitely gotten a little darker down here, and I'm not sure if that's just something that could be cleaned off, perhaps. I don't think so. It's not. dirt. It's like the finish just is discolored a little bit from wear, but not a big deal. Yeah, all that stuff. So here, let's experiment with some different sounds other than one on my processor. This is going through a processor, this guitar, which is then going through a Behringer, it's in stereo through the Behringer audio interface into the PC through a USB. I used to plug it in direct, and good for Windows. You know, if you're just making a movie maker video, you can do that. But if you want to do any kind of live streaming like I'm doing now, you really want to have a interface and get the Behringer, not the one with the single input. I got that one, it worked great, but it's harder to well, I found this one easier to get in stereo. I run through the left and right output of my effects into the mic 1 and mic 2, and the computer accepts that as a nice wide stereo channel. I had to mix it down. I had a cable that combined left and right and went into a single one for a while, and I think it worked as stereo, but I wasn't broadcasting as much then, so it might have been mono and I didn't know it, or maybe it was working. So maybe you can do the $29 one, but this was $10 more, and it's great. I'm not going to turn the camera over on it. All you have to do is look for a Behringer UM2, and or yeah, what the UCG? The UCG was the first one, and this is the UM2. Any old how. Let me hit myself in the face with the microphone here, and then let me step forward to the guitar box here. Listen to that. Great. Nice, clear sustain. Let's try a different amp. Nice, even smoother, a little less overdriven. E string gets that little sparkle. B string too. Little glisten. Wow, a new melody. As you can see, you get a lot of different sounds, and there's a ton of creativity in those sounds. At least for me, there is. How'd you think that was cool? I thought it was, but I was just jamming it mid-flight, and it always sounds cool when you're jamming it, then you play it back, and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? That was pretty lame. Alright, so, other sounds. called a rectified. I think that's trying to simulate some kind of Mesa Boogie amp. And what do we got here? Let's try the other amp. Wow, wow. That was fun. In tune. Give it a checkup. Maybe a little flat. Yeah, it's probably a little sticky here on the, maybe your, maybe this won't stay locked on rock on that E, but for the music I play, that gives a nuance that you want to maybe be, have that personality where that thing's just slightly sharp or slightly flat. Slightly. Very slightly. Not sounding like, you know, something totally whacked out. This is Staxel trying to emulate some kind of Marshall stack. How's the action on this guitar? Well, you know what? I'll tell you what about this action. First of all, you know, everybody wants low action. I want low action. I want that spider. Whoo, man, boy, this must be how Joe Satriani plays, because low action, which is not true. Low action, though, does have a little advantage sometimes, you know, if you're doing certain things, tapping and stuff, and real legato, perhaps. I don't know. And so I tend to favor low action, and I tend to always trying to bring my guitar to the lowest possible action I can set it. But, you know, one thing I've noticed in setting up this guitar, you know, you're setting this kind of guitar up for a maximum tone. Guess where maximum tone is? A little higher up off the fretboard. But I don't like that. I want it playable. So, yeah, with a Strat, you really got to compromise. You know, you've got that setting. You'll find that setting, which I did on this guitar, which just brings it maybe just above where it will starting to sound too buzzy on certain frets. Maybe everywhere. And you just get too many problems, so I bring it just higher than that, which that's not a super low. I'm probably at a very low for a Strat, and probably reasonably low for any given guitar, but maybe probably this would be a bit high for a really super slick setup Vi, you know, $1,400 gem guitar, or perhaps a Les Paul with that really solid neck that you can get, and no tremolo, so you can get that thing to go really low. Well, you know, low sort of limits the tone the lower you go, so high is better. What I set up, where I compromised, was If I probably set it just a touch higher than this, I start really touching into some more ringling tones and certain other things. But I go just lower than that, which is probably just kind of quiets down some of the cool nuances you want. But just high enough to where it's not having any problems on frets. Or there's just the slightest amount of buzz. And where that's set up on the guitar is a nice, reasonable, very comfortable, good. You still notice that you're pressing down a string, and it might be high enough that it slows me down a bit, but I don't think it's very high. Let me try to get you guys a close up here. What the hell? My pretty thick pick will slide through the strings pretty easily here. Well, so there you go. Strings are just about, what, 3 millimeters off the board at the 19th fret. What is this? What are these? 2 millimeters. This is probably a 2. Yeah, that's probably a little less than 2 right there. I'm probably, oh, that's a lot less than 2 millimeters. I'm probably 1.5. I don't know, whatever. What's the green Dunlop? I know the purple Dunlop is 2 millimeters, so the green is. Got another one here. Smaller than a 2 mil. Yep. And here's a purple 1.5, and this one is a. Let's see if the 1.5 will slip through there. Light purple. Alright, so I'm like 1.3 millimeters above the fretboard there, and I think that's definitely low action. Definitely low for a Strat. Lower than a lot of the must have been unset-up ones I saw at the Guitar Center there. You know, the center where they sell guitars. And I hate to say I went there because I'm from Rochester, New York. And Rochester, New York is home to the great house of guitars. A world-renowned, totally awesome, great place to go and visit. Maybe I don't know about buying a guitar there. Okay, I'm sorry. But, really cool place, but hey, I build them here. Yeah, another video they wouldn't like anyways because, you know, they want to be in the business, sell you these. For $5.99, you can get a US made one, but then you get a 2-point Strat, and you get another couple compromises I don't know if I had to deal with here, and I got the ability to rewire and tamper, and I don't care because I'm not ripping up a, you know, store-bought guitar that was all, you know, had a pre-setup on it that you don't even know about. I set this thing up myself. I'll reset it. I'll take it apart. I'll do anything I want to it. And overall, I think I was talking about price earlier. It cost me about, I'd say over a said and done, I was probably topping $400 for everything I spent. Now, a couple of things, you know, after you get them one time, you can use the True Oil or on a, you know, couple guitars if you use that. And so, you know, factor out a couple blunders on the. I ordered a couple of these tremolos before I found the one I liked. And so take those out of the pictures. Maybe I was at $350, somewhere between $350 and just topping $400. I shelled out for this guitar, but the cool thing was I didn't have $400 for a guitar when I bought this, or else I might have just searched eBay for a $400 guitar. But then I'm getting something with worn-in frets that someone else wore in, number one, and I'm getting something I know about, number two, and maybe I could have gotten perhaps some higher quality components, real deal, you know, genuine stuff, not just kind of stamped, made to look like something that it probably is. which it seems nice quality stuff. Don't get me wrong, but maybe I could have done better for $450. But there's all those other factors. I wouldn't have gotten to know the guitar and build it myself and know everything about it. I think autofocus is going crazy here. I forgot to shut that off before I made the video. And we're going to shut that off right now. Finding autofocus. Where the hell is it? Give me a second here to click to this screen and click to this screen and this screen. And okay, let's just leave it right where it is and see if it focused on us. What are we doing here? Yeah, we're good. That seems pretty focused, I guess. Probably could be better. That's not bad. Well, so for $4.99, could have gotten all that. Could have gotten a used one, and so we talked about that. Could have got a brand new one, but then you're dealing with some things that maybe you like the 2-point trem. I'd like to try one. I don't know if I'd notice a difference, but I've heard a difference in ones I've heard on YouTube, and I attest that it's this 5-point connection here to the body that makes a big difference, because I notice the same thing when I have a 2-point. The same kind of tinny sound I hear erupting out of this Strat is the exact same majorly tinny sound I hear from my Floyd Fake Rose tremolos I got on my Ibanez copy and guitars, and those are 2-post trems, and I think those contribute to that. And I have 2 of them, and those are the only 2 sound guitars that are different bodied guitars that have the closest sound. It's that 2-post trem. And probably among other things, maybe Brand Strings is the same, who knows, but maybe the pickups are similar, very similar, but they're probably not that similar, and they both have that tinny sound. So I like this guitar. I'm very happy with it. StewMac Guitar Fetish for the body, StewMac for the neck, as you learned in the other video, and a little shim here, also from StewMac. I think you just order that when you order the neck, just in case you need it. It's an extra $13 on the neck. Yeah, a little pricey. You're looking out for your last dollar there trying to do this, but sometimes it's good to just pay the piper, pay the extra bucks. Or you could be the person that doesn't mind, jamming a credit card in there, using a guitar pick. I'm not doing all that stuff because, to me, I can understand that you want a flat, completely flat, you want a piece of whatever you're going to use to shim the neck has to be exactly matching the entire surface area of the wood that is sandwiching. There can't be any open spaces. Any open spaces, you've got a tremendous force cramming this thing, pulling it tightly to the neck, and wood flexes over time into what it's being, pressured to. So if you've got any empty space, if you use a little ridge, you're eventually going to get a ridge in your neck, and the minute your guitar neck starts to ridge, starts to find a place to start, relieving its tension, you're going to have a disastrous amount of fret anomaly in your fret work up here. If you don't want to, a lot of guitarists don't solo up there anyway, so it won't matter, but I like to noodle around up there. Something's not right. Not happy. But, you know, just a tuning thing. You know, haven't tuned this thing in a long time. Probably about time to get out the tuner. Anyways, it's close enough. Let's get to some sounds. Soundman. I like this one. Cool. Pretty happy. I got some other sounds I really like here. This one I don't know about. Ooh, not good. I really shouldn't have messed with the G string. That's really what I should have done. But ooh, twin reverb. Nice full front pickup. This was like a budget pick guard. They had a pretty good write up on the pickups, and as I said in the other video, I wax potted them when I got them. You get that pretty tasty, but not really too in your face. Sometimes it's good to get a real funkadelic, out of phase sound, but this one's got a real mild. It's there, but it's you know, it's a tone, it's subdued, it's really usable. It's actually my go-to position a lot of the times on this guitar. It has a little trouble between the volume of the G string and the E string, I think. Really great bass. Treble cutoff. And it gets a nice bright edge. This pickup has no tone control. I moved the tone control a la Eric Johnson over to this tone knob here. And he's probably like, yeah, dude, a la Eric Johnson 1998, dude. Yeah. Perhaps he's moved on in guitar setups. Really like this preset. Different amp. It's got a little bit of a Rolling Stone spank here. Nice, great echo. I think I'm more happy with the sound of the preset than I am. It's probably not much of the guitar there. Greaser's not bad. That's got a real neat kind of heady sound, a la a little Zappa-ish, I think. Neat sound there. Great sustain on this tone too. Yeah, man. Look, my Fender's a Les Paul. My Les Paul's usually a little longer than that, but a lot of your sustain is in your presets. Hey, look at that. Because I got presets that sounded really cool. So much personality there. Kind of boring sound there, pretty straightforward, but as you can see, the guitar can make a nice straightforward clean sound. It's supposed to sound like an acoustic there, sort of does. She had a snake for a pet. I find that just kind of tacky and boring after a second. was pretty interesting. Yeah, I was just inspired to play some stuff I've never really played on this guitar before, and I thought that was pretty damn cool. Alright, let's move on. Ooh, Chimey. Chimey's pretty cool. Let's try Chimey. Nice and clear. Doesn't really have as full a body as some of my other clean tones, but it's not bad. Let's try the other amp. Oh, there's a kind of nice sound. There's a real churchy cathedral sound. Maybe with a touch too much overdrive. Anyways, that was getting a little annoying. This one. One of my favorite sounds here. This channel's got a great clean tone, and then soars into a great lead tone. Fancy that, right? Alright, I've given you everything I wanted to show on this guitar. I was pretty excited to think that, it's been I think a year since I built this thing. It's the first year I've had it, and happy. Wilkinson tuner here with this little kind of not as robust as I'd like whammy bar arrangement. It's been pretty reliable. I've been pretty careful with it, haven't really over abused it, so perhaps one day I could break it still. But hopefully right now, doing pretty good. Doesn't flop around, doesn't squeak, make bad noises, nothing's on the guitar going wrong. It's been a 100% awesome experience. But I did build 2 other guitars before this. I had some experience building guitars, setting up guitars, and confidence when I built this one. So you'll need that when you have a first build. And remember this too. If you try to build one of these out of this video, the first week that you play this guitar, they'll have little minutes where they sound hopeful, and then the rest of the time they sound like fucking shit. They buzz, they crackle, they're doing everything wrong, they have a point that doesn't work, and then it does work, and then you're worried, and then things are, good, and you put it away, and you pick it up, and it's all out of tune again. It takes time for this whole thing to gel together and get used to what it is. And if you play it for a while, and then you put it on its stand, and then you play it, and you put it in stand, and play it, and put it in stand, and after you've retweaked it, and it starts becoming playable, and you play it more and more, it seems to just gel into what it is and what it's supposed to be doing, and becomes sometimes, hopefully, like this project, one cohesive success story. Until the frets wear out. And so right now, I guess I got lucky, as my other guitars were like eBay kit guitars, and you don't know where those things are coming from or where they got them from, and definitely had some fretwork to be desired. One was better than the other. This thing here had, a lot of reviews. They're an upfront company. They're right there on the web. They're competing to be the top dog in all these guitar parts sales. So they're going to have, I felt like I was going to get a good chance. I was going to get something reasonable out of the box, provided the shippers didn't screw it up. And looked like it had gone through some pretty precarious shipping, maybe near misses or something. But the thing was packed properly, with a lot of bubble wrap, and I got it out of the box, and it was perfect. And like I told you, the little fret edge thing was to be expected. It's a brand new neck. For the dirt cheap price, you're not going to get it. If you're not buying something from the Fender factory, that's probably comes the same way anyways. So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed my What's Up with Your Stratocaster video. How's it doing? The year-long update. You ready to build another one? Guitar Fetish, you're lucky. Here I come. They've got some Les Paul kits right on there that seem halfway done. They're claiming that they have, they're giving you a nice hint in the ad that you're going to have to do some buffing and scratching. So they're nice in the picture, but I bet you're going to get it and go, oh man, look, I really got to do something. But I happen to be not too bad at the buffing and finishing, wet sanding, and polishing, from all my classic car experience. That's something I can do. Might be trying your stuff there again. And then for parts, maybe we'll go back to StewMac. Who knows? And Guitar Fetish got some good parts too, so we'll see. Well, we'll see. If I build another guitar, you'll see my videos. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video.